Hudson County View, live at Uncut. And I'm your host, Reflection to Perfection, and your number one selection, John R. Hidas, here to talk the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. So, first of all, what we're going to talk about has a lot to do about this HCDO civil war. What we're going to do is now we're going to discuss the legislative races, the 31st, 32nd, and 33rd districts, as well as the Hudson County Sheriff's race. But specifically, we got some new developments here in LD 31 and LD 33. What's going on there is Bayonne's 2nd Ward Councilwoman Jackie Weaver is running with Assemblywoman Barbara Stamato. That's on Mayor Stephen Fulop's ticket. And then Assemblyman Julio Marenco in the 33rd Legislative District announced that he will not be seeking re-election after teaming up with Mayor Fulop back in June. So there's a lot of moving parts there, and 7 contested races, as I just said. So it's going to be a barn burner on this June 10th primary. So we're going to basically break that all down for you. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about some of these major police discipline reports. Remember, those are due every year on January 31st. And we have an interesting one out of Weehawken. A police officer was suspended for 79 years after found to be in possession of prescription pills of a deceased man. So that's something you don't see every day, even here in Hudson. We're also going to talk about the Jersey City mayoral race. We got some new running mates for Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day and former Governor Jim McGreevey. And also, shortly, we will be speaking with Guttenberg Mayor Wayne Zitt, who is also on that June 10th primary ballot. So all that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut, John R. Hidas. So let's talk about these assembly races. So over in the north, we got the 33rd Legislative District. We got a bit of a bombshell on Monday afternoon. Assemblyman Julio Marenco won't be seeking re-election. Remember, he was one of 4 that were announced as running mates for Mayor Stephen Fulop as part of his pursuit for the governor's seat. And that's all on the June 10th primary ballot. Of course, everyone here running is Democrats. And this is all part of this intra-party fight between the Hudson County Democratic Organization. So basically, you got North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco, Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop, taking on a group led by State Senator Union City Mayor Brian Stack, Hudson County Executive, and HCDO Chair Craig Guy. So that's the broad strokes. So let's talk about Julio Marenco. So I had a chance to hear from him on Monday afternoon, as I said. But he noted, I believe that it would be best for the constituents I serve for me to suspend my campaign at this time in order to devote my full attention to my role as Executive Director of the North Bergen Housing Authority, as well as continuing to provide excellent constituent services. I thank the people of North Bergen and the entire 33rd District for their support and look forward to having the opportunity to once again serve an elected office in the future. So Marenco, as many of you know, is a former Board of Education president in North Bergen, and he's also served on that Township Board of Commissioners. And he's not ruling out a run for future office, though he didn't specify exactly what he would like to do. Obviously, his term goes all the way through the end of 2025. So now, interestingly, there were 4 incumbents, and there's 6 legislative delegates, Trenton representatives, if you will, for Hudson County, and 4 of the 6 announced that they were with Mayor Fulop in June, Marenco being one of them, the others being Assemblywoman Barbara McCann-Stamato in the 31st Legislative District, and then Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez in the 32nd, as well as her running mate from 2023, that was Assemblyman John Allen. And now, here we are, what is that, probably about 8 months later, and All of a sudden, Allen and Marenko aren't running. Fulop is still supporting Ramirez. She does not have a running mate at this time. And in the 31st, as I mentioned at the top of the program, we have McCann Stamato running alongside Bayonne, Second Ward Councilwoman Jackie Weaver. More on that in a moment. But we also heard from Mayor Nick Sacco, of course, of North Bergen. And he said, Julio has my unconditional support to lead our North Bergen Housing Authority, and he has done an exceptional job there navigating through challenging circumstances. I look forward to once again offering him our full support and confidence in a future campaign for elected office. So the former executive director, Gerald Sanzari, you guys recall, stepped down in September. We didn't hear much other than it was some sort of personnel issue. Nothing really much more was said. And Marenko was named the acting ED, and now, obviously, he's there full time. So this is an interesting district in the sense that Marenko ran with Gabe Rodriguez, who at the time was a West New York mayor, and he also served on that board of commissioners. And he ended up running with Marenko as the HCDO ticket that was backed by Stack. Obviously, that's all completely fallen apart in the past, I don't know, it depends who you ask, but 6 to 12 months, I think, would be a rough range. And since we heard last month that Larry Weinstein, who ran against Sacco 3 times, albeit unsuccessfully, is now going to be replacing Marenko on that ticket with Stack. That's endorsed by Stack, just to be clear. And it'll be Weinstein and Marenko, supported by Stack and the HCDO. Now, as far as who the running mates or the opposition ticket is going to be, we're not exactly sure yet. We did hear one name, that's North Bergen developer Tony Hector. He's also a landlord, and he also served on the school board there, too. Unclear on who his running mate may be. We have ruled out former Assemblywoman Angelica Jimenez and West New York Commissioner Cosmo Cirillo. We also heard there is some conversation with former West New York Commissioner Margarita Guzman. But other than that, not too much is certain. So we're going to go to the 31st now. We're going to have more on that probably by tomorrow around this time, because the West New York Democratic Committee is meeting this evening. So McCann Stamato ran in 2023 with the HCDO, and that was a ticket that was backed by Bayonne Mayor Jimmy Davis and Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop. Now, of course, Davis is running for sheriff against incumbent Frank Scileri, and he's on Fulop's ticket. And McCann Stamato selected Jackie Weaver as her running mate. So Fulop said in a statement that Barbara and Jackie bring the relationship, empathy, and relentless determination to transform people's lives. It's time for government to serve the people, not the political machine. Short and sweet. This time around, Sampson, who will still be under the HCDO banner, will run with Hudson County Commissioner Jerry Walker. They haven't officially announced it, but the cat's been out of the bag for a couple weeks now, so that should be forthcoming pretty much any day. So very interesting. And I've noted in this article, if you guys didn't have a chance to read it, that this is really going to make Bayonne a battleground, right? Because you have the Second Ward Councilwoman who was elected for the first time under Davis's ticket in May 2022. And don't forget, the incumbent only avoided the runoff with then Council President Sharon Ashton-Drowski by 75 votes. So if it wasn't for someone like Fulop and Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day lending their resources, who knows what could have happened there. But it was very close. And now with Davis running for sheriff, it's going to be crucial to see what kind of votes Weaver and Sampson could get out for their respective teams. Now, speaking of elections, there's a lot more. For example, for a different race, though, this is the Jersey City mayoral that's nonpartisan, November 4th. And Meredith Burns, who's the executive director of Art House Productions, he's running at large on former Governor Jim McGreevy's ticket. So very quickly, McGreevy said Meredith's diverse skill set includes strategic leadership, team building, event planning, financial management, and fundraising. She is an asset to Jersey City as we work to reduce municipal government spending, build affordable housing, increase public safety, and improve public schools. And she is the 6th member of McGreevy's ticket announced. And of course, there's going to be 9 for those that are going to back a full ticket. So with that, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll be joined with Guttenberg Mayor Wayne Zitt, who will be with us via a remote option. So just sit tight. We'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Press releases.
Hudson County View live on Uncut. John Arhitis. As I mentioned at the top of the program, today my guest is Guttenberg Mayor Wayne Zitt, who's up for re-election on June 10th. Wayne, thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, John.
All right, so before we get into the nitty-gritty local stuff, meeting Guttenberg, let's talk a little bit about what's happening in the 33rd Legislative District. So obviously we heard on Monday that Assemblyman Julio Marenco won't be running again. And so that means there'll be at least one more legislative representative for the town of Guttenberg. So, how do you feel about all this? And, when you're looking at this HCDO infighting and how it's going to impact you on the local level?
Julio, for what he has done already was great. He's a great partner with Guttenberg. And if he chooses that he wants to focus on his new position, I completely understand that. North Bergen Housing is a big entity. And if he wants to dedicate his time to it, I'm sure down the road he would have future aspirations. But if that's where he needs to be now, that's obviously a way to stem.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Now, obviously, the HCDO portion or faction, if you will, that they're back at Larry Weinstein and they're going with Assemblyman Gabe Rodriguez. And the Team Fulop ticket that you're a part of hasn't announced anybody yet. But safe to say that you won't be getting on board with Weinstein and Rodriguez anytime soon?
I'm still supporting Steve, obviously, for governor on the ticket, and Sheriff Shalary. I've known Gabe for many years, and Gabe's a great guy. I don't really know Larry. I haven't met him in person, but Senator Stack is our senator, and if he chooses to support them, I completely understand. We will do on our end, and once I meet with the new candidates, prospective candidates, I'd love to meet with them and find out what their thoughts are as well.
All right, so you're leaving the door open at this moment.
Well, that's open to meet with everybody, of course, to see what's there. Not knowing what's going on right now until we all meet, I guess that'll bring, shed more light on this. But to see where we're going at this point, I'm not sure who the candidate's going to be.
Yeah, of course. And I'm sure we'll know a lot more around this time tomorrow after the North Bergen Democratic Committee meets tonight. So, on the ballot. So again, Sheriff Shalary is on the Team Fulop slate, and so just tell me why you think it was an easy choice to endorse him. You joined, of course, 6 other local mayors in doing so.
Yeah, his body of work speaks for itself. The sheriff's department's runs smoothly. He's been a great leader in that department down there, and communication-wise, he's been great for Guttenberg. They support us. Every time we've had a chance that we needed help, he's been there. And I'm not saying Jimmy Davis isn't a great candidate, but Sheriff Slater came out early. We gave him our word we would back him, and we're staying there. He's been, like I said, a great partner to us and a friend, and I'll continue on for 4 more years.
All right, point taken, Mayor. So, speaking of public safety, obviously there's been a lot of chatter that's mostly cooled, but let's revisit what's going on with North Hudson Regional Fire and Rescue. You and North Bergen have talked about leaving this 5-municipality agency, and it looks like this lawsuit that you have is continuing. So could you give us any update or any new thoughts?
We had a hearing a couple weeks back, the arbitration hearing set for September 9th through the 11th. We've been in communication with our attorneys as well as the DCA. The main point is, this department, which I think is probably the best in the state, if not, we need to sit down, the mayors and the representatives we have on our board, to sit down and hammer this out. The contract itself hasn't been followed. If you do know, it's the only budget in New Jersey that has no DCA oversight. It's a $78 million budget of taxpayer dollars. When it was formed back in the 90s, Christine Whitman, the governor, said that it did not need DCA oversight. So right now, that is our fight. We want the fair share, everybody paying their fair share. If you look at it, pilot properties, the only portion of the bill is the land value, not the improvement value. The land is the lower of the two, which does not go on fire. We're asking for the formula to be revamped with DCA oversight, which will make sure every municipality is being treated fairly, and as well as the department. The easiest thing for us to do is to sit down, the five of us, and hash it out, rather than have to go through this long drawn process, because you got these men and women who run into buildings when they're on fire, looking over their shoulder, wondering if they're going to have a job in 5 years. And it's not fair to them. It's not fair to our residents. The safety aspect to this, the taxpayer aspect to this. So the easiest thing is to sit down and hash this out. I've asked for numerous times to sit down, and I fell on deaf ears. It's disturbing. I keep being told that, we're going to be going to volunteer department, which is not the truth. We are working with the Fire Prevention Department of DCA. They're actually in the process of helping us form our own fire department if we needed to. That is not our intention. We want to hopefully be able to hash this out before this expires. The part with North Bergen, that's up to them if they're going to pull out as well. But for us, we need to move forward. We're paying $3.7 million a year, which again, by the terms of the funding, I don't think is fair to our municipality, and that's what this discussion's about. It has nothing to do with the performance of the department, the leadership of the department. It's sad. It's a political aspect side of this now that we need to really sit down and do this, work this out.
Mayor, thank you for that. We're not done yet. We are going to do another segment, but we just have to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Honestly.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Hudson County View live on Uncut. Charter Hiatus, and I'm still chatting with Guttenberg Mayor Wayne Zitt. So, Mayor, just in the event that cooler heads don't prevail, and of course this is not what anybody's hoping for, I can't imagine, but the point is, what would you and potentially North Bergen do for fire department?
Well, it's like I said, right now we're moving forward with the DCA's assistance to sit there and start planning if we had to, pull our own paid fire department forward. And then obviously, if North Bergen would pull out, that would definitely be an option. We're going to explore whatever's the best option for us, obviously, not sacrifice safety over a dollar, but, just try to have the options there so we're not, right now hogtied, so to say, right? We got to take what we get, and it's, we have no control over that. And that's what we're trying to do, be able to, self-sustain ourselves if possible. But that does not mean, again, like I said, ruling out staying in, but we want to get this communication going. If we all can communicate, I'm sure we can all, cool heads can prevail, and we can come to some agreement here. I think with the arbitration hearing, that will help. And hopefully, maybe we get it done before that. But again, we all have to sit down and talk this out.
Got it. All right, Mayor. So now, specifically on your reelection, I believe this will be your third term if successful, right?
Yes. Yes,
And
sir.
you guys unofficially launched in October, and you added a new member to your slate. That's Guttenberg Housing Authority Executive Director Rudis Andrade, and along with a couple other veteran members of the ticket. So just tell me a little bit about you and your team and what you think you've been able to accomplish up to this point and what you'd like to accomplish going forward.
I mean, just again, keep moving the town forward. We actually have a little change up as well, as you just touched on. Rudy Andrade will not be running this term with us. He's going to actually focus on with our redevelopment. We're going to create a separate division at this point, which we need because we have a lot of smaller redevelopments going on. And in conjunction with housing, we're trying to partner that up. And he feels at the same time it's best for him to try to spearhead this now to get it up and going. And obviously down the road, if there's another opportunity, he would love to be part of this. Like we said before, timing is everything. And I think he feels that the same as we do, that putting his best foot forward with this and leading this critical point for us right now is more valuable than him coming on as the councilman at this point. So right now that the fourth seat, or the third council seat, I apologize, is still open. Rich Del Fuente, who was retiring, we would speak today and stuff like that to see what our options are. But, Rudy's has been a great teammate the last 4 years. He worked his tail off for us, and I'm sure he's going to continue to do the same thing with us. He's going to lead our campaign and, continue as he's done in the past. But for us, we just want to keep building off of it. We've done a lot within the town itself, infrastructure, which was great. We've been able to stabilize the taxes. Considering other towns got hit with the same stuff, the increases, pension, healthcare benefits, our GIF payments have gone up, but the school board has been great. We've gotten a lot of state aid from Governor Murphy and the Department of Education. The 2% increase that they could have done annually for the last 7 years has been flat at zero, saving taxpayers probably about $1.4 million without us, sacrificing anything. No services. If anything, we've enhanced everything. From our senior services to our rec program with North Bergen. And now we have a big flood mitigation, which we got a nice grant through Congressman Hernandez's office for Boulevard East, which we had a lot of bad flooding during the last couple of hurricanes at the Galaxy Towers. We got $1.5 million in grant money from the federal government to spearhead this flood mitigation on Boulevard East and River Road. So we have a lot of stuff moving forward, which is great. We obviously, 7 years ago, we opened up our first little resource center, our library. It's just keep moving forward. And I think the teammates, John Haberman and Monica Pandora, have been excellent. And, our strength is communicating and engaging with our residents. I mean, we have a great rapport, and we're going to continue to build off of that.
All right. So, when I've talked to a lot of people that are elected in Hudson, a lot of main things we're hearing about is flood resiliency, garbage and recycling pickup, and parking. So, it sounds like that's consistent in Guttenberg as well. What do you think is the biggest issue, and what are you doing to work on that?
No, the flood, like we said, we have a plan for that, and we probably had about 8 empty lots throughout Guttenberg that residents who own it do not live in town. They've been vacant for probably close to 10 years. So we actually had the open line of communication with them to ask us to lease their property for parking lots until they're ready to sell, redevelop, or whatever they choose to. For months, I should say actually a couple of years, we had no response. So we actually took a step forward with eminent domaining the properties. Fortunately, these owners came to our council meeting, probably 2 council meetings ago. We hammered out one deal, which is going to probably be about 30 spots on Jackson Street on the west side of town. And now we're working on a second deal that's right off of Boulevard East, which will be probably about another 30 to 40 spots that will be rented to the residents. So, obviously we're trying to be creative in every which way we can. I see other towns are doing more resident parking throughout the day. It's tough to do that for the businesses and stuff. So we're trying to think outside the box, to try to get as much as we can at the minimal cost. So, but these are 2 things that will be coming, online probably within the next 3 months that will have these hopefully up and running for parking for residents.
All right, Mayor, just real quick. So with all this infighting with the HCDO, a lot of people think that West New York, Weehawken, and Union City, perhaps, forces may run somewhat against you. Any feelings on that?
Yeah, if they do, they do. We're ready. We're going to, continue, like I said, to work hard, and, our body of work speaks for itself. If they choose to do that, that's, it's democracy. It's government. It's Hudson County. So I wouldn't be surprising. it is what it is. We're open. We'll welcome it with open arms, and we'll see the results at the end.
Very good, Mr. Mayor. Best of luck. Thank you for your time. We'll be chatting soon.
You're the best, pal.
Thanks, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. We're just going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View Live, Uncut, Chatter Hiatus. So a few more before we let you run this week. So an interesting one out of Jersey City. The Board of Education trustee, that's Dejan Morris. He was the president last year. He also was a Jersey City police detective, but he actually had to resign or he chose to resign or had to resign, depending who you ask, on Friday. I did have a chance to speak with him yesterday, and we talked a little about that, and we also talked about his potential run for state assembly in LD 31, as well as the Ward A council seat. He's ruled both of those out. And, I'll give you a couple excerpts here. He said, I'm going to use this time to focus more on the Board of Education. I enjoyed working for the police department for 20 years. It was important for me to have an opportunity to serve the community. He said he's going to pursue other career opportunities, and he said this whole situation is a personal matter, so he's not going to get into it too deeply. That was pretty much where we left it. I mean, as far as the whole police department business goes, like he was with the force about 2 decades, and he says he is vested in the pension, and he's happy to move out and try other things. Long story short, I reached out to the police department through a city spokeswoman. I didn't hear anything back, so I guess they don't have an opinion right now. You remember that kind of 90-day suspension actually, it was November 23, and that was right after he got elected to the school board for what was called an administrative oversight. And when you saw the major discipline report for the Jersey City Police Department in 2023, said he failed to secure video evidence of crime, failed to notify his supervisor, and also failed to provide transportation to the alleged crime victim. And other than that, there's no public documentation that he had any blemishes throughout his career in law enforcement. So, and, without getting into it too deeply, when I asked him why, he's not going to run for office in 2025, he basically said the field's too crowded and the HCDO civil war is just kind of making everything really nasty and convoluted, and he'd rather wait for a time when it's easier to get the message out to voters. So he's on the school board till the end of 2026. Remember, he got elected at the end of 2023 under the Education Matters banner that's backed by the Jersey City Education Association. So with that, another 2025 watch type of situation. What I mean is Sandra Robinson Green will be the third and final council at large member on Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day's ticket. So if you're not familiar with Sandra, she's actually the daughter of Ernestine Betty Robinson, who played a historic role as the lead plaintiff in the 1973 New Jersey Supreme Court case Robinson versus Cahill. Now, if you're not familiar, I mean, honestly, I wasn't terribly familiar. It put Jersey City's fight for a better education system front and center. Specifically, the decision compelled the state to uphold its constitutional obligation to provide all public school students with a, quote, thorough and efficient, end quote, education. So she will be running alongside Kristen Zadroga Hart and Councilman at Large Daniel Rivera at large. And O'Day now has filled 7 of his 9 council seats. That's the most of anyone that's declared for the November 4th nonpartisan race, followed by Jim McGreevy, who's at 6, and James Solomon, the Ward E councilman, he's at 5. And they're formally doing that campaign launch tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the Booker T. Washington Apartments. So there's quite a bit left. Just real quick on a few things. So Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez has been sponsoring a lot of bills lately ahead of her re-election campaign, and one would make posting sexually explicit images of a candidate, whether they're real or AI generated, would be a third-degree crime. And she said, with younger generations coming of age and considering potential runs for office, this is an issue we can no longer ignore. This is an issue of sexual violence, and this is an issue of democracy. So that's an interesting bill that I think is worth reading. And then again, as I mentioned at the top of the program, we're looking at these major police discipline reports for 2024. And in Weehawken, we saw that police officer Vicky Rabash was suspended for 79 days last year after an internal affairs investigation sustained a charge of a serious rule infraction related to possessing prescription pills through someone who was deceased. So with that, folks, we're going to call it a week. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.